Hello, all, and welcome to our Chapter 5 Chainsaw Man discussion or recapping discussion. Um, if you're new, then I am Mel the Scientist. Thank you for being here. Um, I love this show and I wanted to do weekly recaps of it, and they've been really fun so far. This is the fourth episode because the first one I did was episode 1 and 2 together. So if you're just joining now, great to have you. Hope you continue to join me for our weekly discussions every Friday at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. And yeah, if you're not new and you're returning, welcome back. Glad to have you. Um, Thanks for being here. Um, and yeah, I hope we have a great time as usual. Before we get into anything, as usual, I'd like to discuss my official merch bracelet, which I actually have a commercial for that I created on iMovie a long time ago. So I'm just going to play that and let everything speak for itself. All right.
Introducing my first ever merch item, the official MTS bracelet. It's designed and handmade by yours truly and is composed of MTS letter charms, black lava stones, and sodalite. Sodalite is a semi-precious stone that promotes alignment of the head and the heart, allowing you to think logically and solve problems with more ease. I also apply a jewelry shield that protects those with sensitive skin from metallic irritation, so you can wear your MTS bracelet with pride. There are two variations, one with rhinestone accents and one incorporating hematite, which is an iron oxide material with its own healing properties. You'll also receive a personally handwritten note by me thanking you for supporting my business. You can find the MTS bracelet on my small jewelry business site, mellowjewelrybox.com. Thank you so much.
All right. That took me all day to do, so rest assured you're going to be seeing that every single episode. And I've been meaning to put them in my regular videos as well. But and you'll probably see them there too. But you'll be seeing it every week because I didn't necessarily spend money on it because I used iMovie, but that was my first ever like film. Not no, because my other film, my trip to San Francisco film, that's technically my first film. But this commercial, really proud of it. Like I said, is made by me, handmade with Sodalite, and you can get it at mellowsstorybox.com. I'll be working on other merch soon enough. However, if you would like to see those merch items, definitely make sure to like, share, and subscribe to the channel so we have a bigger subscriber base to be able to have that merch out too. And why don't we jump into the Chainsaw Man episode 5 discussion, because this was definitely steamier than some, but it cut off prematurely. I was so pissed where they ended because that's the juice. That's what I was really trying to get to. But without further ado, let's get into Chainsaw Man episode 5 review. Okay, let us add it to the stream. Okay. Yeah, so when we start the episode where we last left off, and Denji is finally getting the opportunity to do what he's been killing multiple devils for no other reason really, but just to do this. And Power lets him commence 3 squeezes or 3 fondles, and he definitely gets his wish. And I thought this was interesting. I don't know why she's wearing a breast pad. I mean, I'm not hating. It's fine, but I thought that was funny. Why that even needed to be a thing. I mean, she could just wear a bigger bra. Like, I don't know why she's just wearing breast pads. There's multiple ways you could go about it. Is all I'm saying. But that was weird. But still funny that they did that. And Denji's face the whole time because he just can't believe this is actually happening. And I'm like, dude, you've been trying to do this for so long. Um, I mean, of course, he's inexperienced because he raised himself and since he was young, so it makes sense for him to uh, act the certain way. But at the same time, like, dude, your enthusiasm towards being able to do this is so opposite of this actual moment. Like it felt really anticlimactic, but like he says later, it felt anticlimactic to him too. So it all kind of makes sense, really. But he keeps that same face like well into the morning time, and like the entire day that he's with them. And he also has to report to Makama for killing the Bat Devil and the Leash Devil and stuff like that. You got to fill out paperwork, of course, because they're I always forget they're with public safety, so it makes sense that they have to fill out paperwork. But he has this face, and she's like, "What's going on, Denji?" And he's just like, "Well, I got to do something recently that I always, really said I wanted to do, and after didn't really it didn't it just didn't feel like how I thought it would feel, and I guess I'm more into the chase of it all versus the actual result, which is a problem many people have. But it's just funny how this is his current life crisis right now. So this whole time it's like, wow, people have so many other problems, but this is your problem. But Makima takes this time to I guess show him even more potentials of intimate relationship, and pretty much just, I guess, lets him know that there's more that he can strive for, because she was trying to make sure pretty much that he didn't lose his will to fight the devils, because this was his goal the whole time. So now she has something, now that she knows this about him, and that this is what we will be able to help him fight. Of course, that whole scene just made sense, just give him even more to fight for, and it works. Because we see at the further at the end of the episode, he just goes in, because he already, when Himeno asks says that she's going to give a kiss on the cheek to anyone who's going to go in there and fight that devil later on in the episode. He was like, "Oh no, I ain't got to sweat over it, because I'm already here. I have way more motivation than I need already." The motivation being this, of course, but because I'm not gonna lie, at first I thought it was weird that she did this, but I was like, you know what, duh, of course she would do that, because she needs him to keep his momentum, keep his motivation going, to do whatever needs to be done. And mostly because she wants him to fight the gun devil. And I guess that's going to be the main devil for this season, or halfway through the season, because it seems like it's going to be one that takes many episodes to probably take care of. And the gun devil apparently came onto the scene on 9/11. They didn't say 9/11, but it's quite obvious that it was, because that's obviously the World Trade Center after the first one already went down. And that's just a famous picture anyway, if you haven't seen, like all the most famous pictures of 9/11 with the smoke coming out in that angle and everything. So I wonder why 9/11. I'm not sure. Maybe I'm sure we'll talk. I'm sure they'll talk more about why it was particularly 9/11. Um, but yeah, that was interesting. And we get to, so they also, while Miss Makima was talking to Denji about it, they also brought up this scene right here about how this family, there's this boy and this his parents in the bed, and there's this boy right here who turns out to be young Hayakama. And I don't know how I didn't see that before, because that's obviously him. When they did the whole reveal that it was him, I was like, I should have known. I should have known, because it was so random that they focused on this little boy for like a good 5 minutes. And yeah, so poor thing. We finally get to see how he actually lost his family, because in season one, I mean, not in season one, in the second episode, second, right? Yeah, so I want to say second episode. He talks about, yeah, it was second, not the third, right? Yeah, it was the second episode. It was the second episode when Hayakama took Denji to that house where the fiend was, and after Denji took care of it, and Hayakama was was like, why did you why didn't you use your chainsaw man? He was like, well, I wanted to give it an easy death because it's kind of like me. And then Hayakama got mad and he was like, you need to take this more seriously because my family was killed by a devil, hence the gun devil, which we find out now. So he takes this matter very seriously. So we finally see why that was. Also, side note, when his little brother went back to the house and they focused on this for too long, I was like, something's about to happen. This is before I knew it was Hayakama, but at the same time, I was like, I know something is sus because when they just did the whole little wholesome moment of him going back, I was like, Lord, don't let anything bad happen. But unfortunately, yeah, his house got knocked in 1 second. I was really proud of myself for taking this photo, by the way, because that happened in like less than a second. But yeah, okay. So my thing is, I'm trying to understand how a gun devil did this. This doesn't make any sense because his house got winded away. Um, it seemed like it would be more of a tornado devil, some sort of storm devil or something. But that doesn't. I don't understand how it would be a gun devil because she talks about how there was violence on the rise and that caused the gun devil to appear, and it came during 9/11 and they were worried about gun violence and everything. That's all fine, well and good, but I didn't. I don't understand how the gun devil had anything to do with this in particular. But well, I'm sure we'll see the kind of impact that the gun devil can have because apparently it has a massive effect globally, or not globally, but she did say like 1.5 million people died that day, if I remember correctly. But yeah, yeah, she said that. So yeah, apparently the gun devil is a big deal. But I don't understand how it was able to cause such a massive scale of violence, really. But we'll see. We'll see what it does in the future. We don't even know what it looks like yet. Um, but so getting back to this conversation, she's still with Denji in the room, and she shows this briefcase that is full of these bullets, and she said that the gun devil pretty much kind of like sweats these off pretty much when he's moving around, and apparently all these gun pellets, I mean bullet pellets, just kind of like stick together, and they have a bunch of them, and apparently they have the ability to stick to the gun devil, like, or attract to the gun devil. So they're going to try and use these every time they go out. Apparently what they do is they take one of these, or no, they find one of those, and they use it to see if there's any reaction, to see if the gun devil is around, because they'll have an attraction to these bullets. um yeah, and then we see that Hayakama and Himeno, I think that's her name, right? um, while they were talking, they were out here in the field killing devils, or doing devil hunting. And I just noticed that this fish has those legs. Oh, what kind of devil is that? Because the fish, I mean, usually the devil will take on the shape and form of like an actual animal or some sort of actual thing or object. But what is that? That's like two creatures in one. I don't even understand how that works. But Hayakama pulls out a pellet. Uh, so apparently it was eating, or someone gave it the gun pellet, or it ate something and it had the gun devil pellet in it or something. But yeah, they're out there and they find pieces, a piece of it, and then they get called to do some devil hunting at this Hotel Morin, and that doesn't actually look like a hotel. I mean, you know what? Let me not, because it's anime. But it looks more like a business office, don't you think? Because if it was like a hotel, it would probably have like, um, like curtains and stuff. Or it just wouldn't look like that. I don't know. It looks more like an office building, but I digress. And Himeno gives the boys pretty much an incentive, uh, because I think it was like, because they were saying Denji in power, and they were like, we can't like actually trust them, right? And Hayakama was like, "Oh no, they're not going to watch our backs. We're going to be putting them in the forefront because if they run, we kill them." And Himeno gave an extra incentive. She was like, whoever is able to take care of this devil will get a kiss on the cheek. And like I said, Denji was just like, no problem, fam. I got you. I already have enough motivation as it is. Let's get going. But then she actually said, well, how about kiss on a kiss with tongue? How about that? And he was like, ooh. And he started foaming at the mouth. So they went straight in, uh, did what they need to do. But before they did, they uh, cut to a scene where we find out that Hayakama is Himeno's sixth partner because all her other ones, died and while they were devil hunting. And I thought it was weird how this graveyard, all of them, are just this are just stone crosses instead of like actual epitaphs. But I don't know what the culture is in Japan. I don't know how. I don't know what graveyards look like there, or Christian ones, how they are there, because different culture, different setting. Um, but yeah, so we find out that he became her partner, and she's his senior, um, and they've been partners, uh, and that's how they. I'm sure we'll probably I'm sure she's going to be a very important character. That's why they even mentioned this whole interaction right here. But I'm sure she's going to be important. They highlight her a lot in this episode, so I'm sure we'll definitely see a lot more of her. Um, but yeah, this is where the real juice starts, and I'm so pissed that it was like at the end of it too. Like I'm so mad. But I'm sure the next episode is gonna be so great. I just know it. But this is when it finally starts getting good. I'm not like the rest of the episode was bad. I'm just saying, this is what I come to see. Um, but they walk into the hotel, and this ugly thing with like a head and 2 feet coming out of it, like this. It just opened. First of all, you know what? It opened the door. Now I don't know how it opened the door in case it was already open. It had to have already been open. Otherwise, that thing jumped up and opened the door. I'm just thinking about that. Um, but it comes out and it attacks this girl who, quite frankly, is not pulling her weight at all. I'm gonna need to see her do something because I'm trying to figure out why she's even with the Division 4. Like, what can she bring to the table? I'm sure she has some worth because she wouldn't be with them. Himeno says she quote unquote has all the moves, but it's just, I think she said like too shy or something, or too timid. And I'm just like, well, like, part of use. She could have gotten herself killed if Himeno didn't grab the thing with her ghost ability, because we find out, not yet, ghost devil ability. She, as along with Hayakama, formed a contract with a devil, the ghost devil to be exact. So in the last episode, we found out that Hayakama formed a contract with the Fox, yeah, the Fox Devil, and which was like that big fox head that just kind of came out and grabbed the leech devil, and that was really cool. But she formed a contract with the ghost devil, and she sacrificed her eye to do it, because remember, Hayakama, he uses his he gives up like blood and skin to for his contract, but she had to give up her eye. I'm just like, that's, I mean you do what you got to do, I guess. um but I feel like that's just worse than just giving up some blood every now and then. But I mean, as we see, her power is super legit. Because the ghost, like, she, when that ugly thing came out, she grabbed the thing, but everyone thought it was just floating because they couldn't see it, because the ghost devil, you can't see a ghost. But she actually grabbed it with her ghost hand powers and killed it. So it's a really cool power. And they cut to this uh, scene right here. I thought that angle was really weird. How they, I thought it was sus how they kept looking at the blood, making us pay attention to that blood splatter on the wall, because of the angle. I was like, huh, I wonder why they're making us look at that. Um, but that's right. So they're walking. Okay, so this was important. They were walking up to the ninth floor. They were on the eighth floor and they were walking up to the ninth floor, mind you. But while they were, Power was like, well, Jimeno, now that you've told me your power, now that you told me your power, don't you think that's a bit of a liability now? Because now that I know what you can do, like you probably can't stop me, or like I know a weakness now, or like I know what you can do. Like, why would you tell me about that? Um, and Jimeno shows her very quickly, um, that she might not want to use her power to hurt, because she used her little blood to make a spike and almost kill the other useless girl right now. Um, but she grabbed her before she could do anything. Jimeno grabbed her by the neck with her ghost hand, or the ghost arm, uh, and Power couldn't touch the hand because it was a ghost hand. And she was like, "Oh snap!" So she was like, "Yeah, you might not want to do that, or you might not want to play with me." And I was like, "Okay, all right, that's what I'm talking about." But yeah, that was cool. So they're walking up to the eighth. No, they're walking up to the ninth floor from the eighth floor, and they somehow come back to the same splattered blood on the wall. And that dude, he was like, "Wait, didn't we walk up to the ninth floor?" And they were like, "Yeah." Power was like, "Well, maybe you read it wrong." He was like, "No, I definitely didn't read it wrong." So he goes down the steps, and Power, you can see her legs. She's walking up the steps, and he's going down the steps. But as soon as Power is walking up the steps, he's coming down. But now, remember, he walked down the steps, and he walked past her, like he ran past her to go down to the eighth floor, but somehow came back up from the top where they technically haven't gone yet. So something about this floor is like they're making them stay on the same floor, because assuming they've walked all the way from ground level up to the eighth floor, apparently that's where the actual magic is happening. It's not allowing them to go to the ninth floor. It's just making them stay on the eighth floor. So some juju is going on around there. We'll find out. That's where it got really interesting, and it just kind of cut off right there. Um, and yeah, that was just not fair. I was like, no, this whole episode could have been like, I wanted it to go on for a lot longer. It just was not fair at all. um, but yeah, that was the episode. Unfortunately, uh, that was so fun. Like, it's this kind of juice. Like, this is what I was waiting for. I was like, okay. And as soon as they did the, as soon as he went up the step, went down, and then came back around, I was like, please don't tell me the episode is almost over, because I really want to see why this is. And then it just cut off. It did a close in on the other girl's face and then ended. I was like, no, not fair. But that is it for this episode of Chainsaw Man, episode 5, episode 6. I don't know if, yes, I mean, it's definitely on Crunchyroll. I watch it on Hulu just because I don't have Crunchyroll yet. I have Funimation. Um, but I'm sure I'll be getting a Crunchyroll subscription soon, because they, apparently have more to offer and stuff like that. But honestly, Funimation it's I'm using it to watch all my other anime right now, unless it's on Netflix. Usually, okay, so when I started watching anime, it was they would have, like, Netflix would have the first seasons, And then I got Funimation so that I could watch the other seasons. So sometimes I thought it was only one season because Netflix didn't put the other ones on the platform. So I had to get a Funimation account to watch it. Um, so I've had that ever since. And then Crunchyroll started. Uh, I guess Funimation and Crunchyroll merged and whatever all that is. And I have yet to get the Crunchyroll account, but I'm gonna get it soon enough. There's really nothing stopping me from doing it right now. Um, but yeah, I'll just get it when I'm ready. Just watch the stuff that's on there already. Um, and they have been like I'm watching My Hero Academia on Funimation right now, so I don't even need Crunchyroll. Um, and then when Attack on Titan comes back, I'll just be watching it because I queue those two shows. And oh yeah, I have a new poster. I know last week it wasn't there, but I've been trying to get a Hisoka poster for a while now. There's another one that's really cool that I'm going to put somewhere else in this room, but I thought this poster would be a really good addition to the room. Yeah, I love Hisoka. That's my favorite character. If you didn't know that already. But yeah, that's the end of the episode. This is gonna be a short live stream. But yeah, this was a fun episode. I can't wait to see episode 6. Um I always forget the names of the episodes. I don't care, it's just episode 5, 6, whatever. Um but yeah, this was fun. Also, the reason why I have a sweater and fur, well, it's faux fur, it's not actual fur. But I like wearing hats. Hats are like my favorite accessory. But it's a little cold in my room. Like I live in one of those houses with those old 100-year-old townhouses that still has radiators and stuff. So I feel all the hot and I feel all the cold, unfortunately. But nothing that layers and fans can't fix. um, yeah, but that's gonna be it for today. Um, Thanks for being here during the live stream if you were watching live, but thank you as well if you are watching the replay. My videos over the weeks have been getting more views as the weeks go by, as I do episodes. So I have a lot of faith that this series will grow. I mean, my recap and discussion will grow. So please send some love and support as well. Thanks a bunch for watching. I can't wait to keep doing it every Friday, 4 p.m. I'm going to try and get some people to join. My brother is pretty much the reason why I even got into anime in the first place, but he's really busy. He's going through some shifts with his job. He works in he's a techie, and he's always a little busy. But he's also dealing with personal loss as well. He lost someone very dear to him, and he's going through that as well. So I'm just trying to give him the support, as much support as I can, and hopefully I can be able to do these reviews with him, or have him join once in a while. My friend also, my friend from college really wants to join in as well, but she's also busy because she's in nursing school right now, and they just have her completely swamped with tests and work and everything. But that's graduate school for you. I know when I get to graduate school, I know it's going to be a weird schedule for me as well. But I'm going to try and do the best that I can to keep my channel as stable as possible, and uh, being able to knock out my videos and have them ready. Also doing my weekly recap and discussion for Chainsaw Man. I'm also going to be doing a recap and discussion for Alice in Borderland when it comes out. As you all know, that's one of my favorite shows ever. And I will definitely be doing reviews on that. Trust and believe. I don't know if Netflix is going to do all episodes at once for season 2, or if they're going to do weekly. If they're doing weekly, definitely a weekly recap and discussion. If not, I may just even still separate the episode discussions, or we can just have one big old season 2 discussion, depending on how they do the episodes. Um, But I cannot wait for that so much. I'm so excited for season 2 to come out. I've been waiting for so long. And if you're a fan of the show, you've been waiting for a long time too. If you read the manga, then you already know what happens, and that's cool. I'm glad for you, but I'm actually glad to have the viewer experience where I don't know yet. Because it's a great show. I love it. But all right, I'm gonna get off, and y'all enjoy the rest of your day. Like it says on the bottom, be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe to Mel the Scientist. Help get my channel out there. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And I'll see y'all later. Peace and love.